Hi everyone, welcome to another recipe video. In this video, I'm going to take you to Japan because we are going to make Hokkaido cheese tarts. These baked tarts originated in Hokkaido, Japan, and that's why they're called Hokkaido cheese tarts. The tart crust is flaky and buttery, and the cheesy filling is absolutely delicious. It's creamy and has a distinct sweet and savory taste. Now let's go to the kitchen and I'll show you how to make them. In a large bowl, add the all-purpose flour. By the way, if you guys want the full recipe, you can check it out in the description box below. Then also grab the sugar and add this to the bowl. Mix the dry ingredients until they're evenly combined, and I'm just using a whisk to do this. Add the unsalted butter that's been cut into cubes into the bowl, and make sure to use cold butter by the way, and only take it out of the fridge when you're ready to use it. We do this to make sure that the butter doesn't melt into the dough. The little pockets of butter is the reason why there's flakiness when the dough gets baked. Use your hands to mix the butter into the dry ingredients, but make sure not to overmix. There should still be some chunks of butter when you're finished mixing. Crack the egg into the bowl and add a tablespoon of water. Mix the dough to form a ball. You might need to add more water, a tablespoon at a time, until the dough starts to come together. The amount of water required depends on the flour that you're using and also the humidity of the room. You would usually need around 3 to 5 tablespoons of water. Use your hands to mix the dough and form it into a ball, and after that we can now wrap it in cling wrap. Grab some cling wrap and place the dough in the middle and then wrap it around with the cling wrap. Let's chill the dough in the fridge for 1 hour. So the reason we're chilling it in the fridge is because we need to prevent the tart shells from shrinking too much when we bake them later on. So bye dough, see you later. Now let's make the filling. There's a handful of ingredients, but it's really simple to make. Grab a small saucepan and turn on the heat to low heat. Add in the cream cheese and make sure that you get everything in and not waste anything. Also add the mascarpone cheese and the parmesan cheese. Also add in the milk and butter. Mix them all together and cook until everything melts. Once it's all melted, add in the white sugar and the cornstarch, then mix them together until it's smooth. Turn the heat off, then add the vanilla extract and the egg. Mix it real fast to prevent the egg from getting cooked into a scrambled egg. Continue mixing, and because there's residual heat from the pan, the mixture will eventually thicken. Transfer the filling into a shallow bowl or any heat-resistant container. I'm just using this measuring jug, so pour everything into the jug, then cover the surface with plastic Glad wrap like this. We're doing this to avoid skin forming on top of the filling. It needs to completely cool before using it, so we're going to chill it in the fridge for now. Now we're going back to our dough that we chilled earlier. It's time to remove it from the fridge. Unwrap the dough and pinch around 30 grams of dough and form this into a tiny ball. I measure each ball to make sure that the size of the tarts are all the same. So I roll it into the small bowl, and then I use a weighing scale and just measure how much each bowl weighs, and it should be around 30 grams. Place the dough into the tart shell mold and press it evenly inside the tart shell like this. I usually press it until there is excess dough at the top because the dough will shrink a little bit while it's baking. Repeat this process until you end up with 17 tart shells. So all we do is form the ball and then put it on the tart shell pan and then press it starting from the bottom and then on the sides. Then carefully press the dough on the sides a bit more to make sure that the shell is not too thick on the sides. And there you go, you've got your tart shell. You can use a bigger tart shell mold than what I'm using right now, but you will just end up making these tarts obviously. So here's our egg tart shells. I'm putting them in a baking pan that's big enough to fit all of them. Break the base of the tart shells with a fork, and why do we do this? Because this allows the steam to escape while it's baking. Place the unbaked shell in the freezer for 15 minutes to firm up a little bit. In the meantime, preheat the oven to 340 degrees Fahrenheit or 170 degrees Celsius. When the oven is ready, grab the tart shells from the freezer and place them on the lowest rack of the oven. Bake the tart shells for 15 minutes. After baking, the tart shells will just be slightly brown, which is totally fine. It's how it should be for now because these babies are going back to the oven later on. Cool them completely and then remove the shells from the molds, invert it, and then tap the bottom a few times to help release it. It should be easy, but just be careful not to force it so it doesn't break. Transfer the filling in a piping bag like this and fill it in inside the shells. If you don't have a piping bag, you can also use a spoon to just scoop the filling into the tart shells. After you finish filling the tart shells, quickly flatten the top with a teaspoon. Place the unbaked tarts in the freezer for 30 minutes for the filling to firm up a little bit before we bake it. After freezing, brush the top of the filling with some egg yolk wash to get that shiny look and enhance the golden color when it's baked. You know what I mean. Bake the cheese tarts at 428 degrees Fahrenheit or 220 degrees Celsius and place it on the lowest oven rack. Bake it for 10 minutes or until the signature burnt spots on top of the cheese tart has formed, like the ones you see here. After 10 minutes, then now we can take them out of the oven and we can try them. I hope you guys liked this video. Let me know what recipe you want to see next in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and subscribe and follow us on Instagram at PreMC for more updates. See you in the next video.